What's going on, everybody? It's Gerald Moore Jr. back with another episode of the Ohio Cannabis Report, and today we're going to go over the July 22 patient numbers for the Ohio Medical Marijuana Program. We call it obviously cannabis, but we're going to just tap in to show everybody what's going on, because all of this information doesn't always get distributed. Not everybody has access to the internet. Not everybody has access to the knowledge of where to go. Our state government doesn't really do a great job of disseminating the information. They don't do a great job of actually educating the people. So we've taken on that task. If you want to support us financially, we do this out of the kindness of our hearts. But you can, send us some cash apps at $G13 Ventures, and then that'll help us support this initiative. We're working on a Patreon right now. If you want to support the Patreon, it's Ohio Cannabis Report as well. So let me go ahead and switch over to sharing my screen. And we want to thank everybody that's followed us so far, all of our followers on Instagram, Twitter, people that follow me personally, people that follow Broderick personally, people in the community, the cannabis industry that show so much love, whether they hit us up in the DMs, whether they comment, come on the live, like we're on live right now. We appreciate all of the support. We couldn't do it without you guys. It's definitely not easy putting ourselves out there. We get a lot of people coming to us talking about, like they're shy or they're afraid to lose their job, XYZ. And so we do it for you. At the end of the day, we're trying to build a community of people that feel empowered, encouraged, and motivated to be their best selves, and a lot of times, a lot of information is hidden because, the people at the top want to stay in that position. You have gatekeepers and people that don't want to lose position, or they don't want to be the ones to be the change, because sometimes being the change comes with backlash, and we get that, we understand it, but we're millennials, so we're all about disruption. Alright, so we're going to go over the Board of Pharmacy published the update for patient and caregiver numbers for July 2022. This was released on August 24th, 2022. Obviously, it's September. Shout out to all my Virgos. Oh, also happy Labor Day. This is Labor Day, so shout out to all of our essential workers, everybody putting in that work. We really appreciate you guys. What's up, Ace Boogie? What's up, Billy? Just doing a recording for our podcast for YouTube. All right. So the state of Ohio Board of Pharmacy published update for patient and caregiver numbers for July 2022. These numbers include 546,750 recommendations, 293,579 registered patients, 18,433 patients with veteran status, 19,852 patients with indigent status, 1,138 patients with terminal diagnoses, 154,614 patients with both an active registration and an active recommendation, 271,561 unique patients who've purchased medical marijuana, cannabis, as reported by the OARRS by licensed dispensaries, 30,676 registered caregivers. Alright, so now we're going to go to the full list of program numbers. And it's interesting how they do this. Like, when you look at it, I'm going to show you guys on Instagram. But, like, when you come here, like, you don't know that this is a link, because they don't show you. You know how, like, links usually, like, are different color. They have it underlined. But, please visit this. I think that's, like, kind of like, they did that on purpose. Like, look. And you got to click there. So, like, if you don't know, like, you probably not going to necessarily click that. I know, because I've been doing this for a while. So, and then shout out to my backdrop. This is from Ohio Clean Leaf. Alright, so we got the program update numbers. So Cultivators, there are 23 level 1 provisional licenses. 17 provisional licensees have received certificate of operation. So in actuality, like, people don't realize, like, all of our cultivators aren't even up and running. You got 23 level 1 provisional licenses. You got 17 provisional licensees that have received their certificates of operation. So we still have 6, cultivators that still aren't up and running, which is, actually you have 8, because 14 level 2 provisional licenses, only 12 provisional licensees have received certificate of operation for level 2. So total, we got 29 cultivators from level 1 and level 2. I'll show you guys the list just so you guys can see it on YouTube. And please like and subscribe, comment on our YouTube. It really helps us out, really gives us motivation and support to keep doing this. Like I said, we do this, because we love it. We love the community. We want people to know what's really going on in the industry. So right here you can see the certificate of operation licensees for the 29 that we talked about. I'll read through it. I usually read through them really quick. You can go on the website and find all this information yourselves. If you're ever interested, you can print these documents out. So you got Fire Rock Limited in Akron. You got Ascension Biomedical in Oberlin. You got Galenas LLC, a level 2 in Akron. All the first 2 were level 2s. You got FN Group Holdings LLC, level 2. That's in Ravenna. You got Columbia Care, Ohio. That's a level 1. Mount Orab. You got AgriMed Ohio LLC, Ethos Cannabis, Langsville. You got Buckeye Relief. Shout out to Andrew LLC, level 1, East Lake. You got OPC Cultivation. That's in Huron, a level 1. You got Grow Ohio LLC. That's 1, East Fultonham. You got Hema Ascend Wellness, level 2, Monroe. You got Cresco Labs, Ohio, Yellow Springs, level 1. You got Ohio Clean Leaf LLC, level 2, in Dayton. Shout out Jason Cavis that runs that organization. He's also on my board for Green Environmental Outreach. You got Riviera Creek Holdings in Youngstown, level 1. You got ATCPC of Ohio LLC, level 1 in Akron. You got Ancient Roots LLC, level 2 in Wilmington. You got Pure Ohio Wellness LLC, level 1, Springfield Standard Wellness Company LLC. Gibbonsburg, that's a level 1. You got Mothers Grow Best, Verano Holdings, level 2, Canton. Farkas Farms LLC, level 2, Grafton. You got Pharmacan Ohio LLC, level 1, East Buckeye Lake. Pure Ohio LLC, that's in East Palestine, level 2. You got Ohio Grown Therapies, Cure Leaf, level 1, Johnstown. Ohio Grow, Juzzy, I don't know. Level 2, Toledo, Certified Cultivators, LLC, level 1, Dayton. Harvest Grows, LLC, that's in Ironton, level 1. Greenleaf Gardens, Acreage Holdings, level 1, Midfield. Green Investment Partners, LLC, that's Columbus, level 1. GTI Ohio, LLC, level 1, Toledo. Pharmaceutical Rx, LLC, level 1, East Liverpool. And then you got Terradoyle, Ohio, LLC, level 1, Canton. Paragon Development Group, level 2, Tip City. CeeLo Jardin, LLC, level 2, Euclid. Pharma Wellness Center, LLC, level 1, Parma. Canamed, level 1, Columbus. Right Gene Therapies, LLC, Marion. Appalachian Farm Products, LLC, Jackson, level 1. FW Green Investments, LLC, in Cincinnati. So those are all of the cultivators that are certified to operate. And then we have dispensaries. We have 58 certificates of operation for the dispensaries, 71 provisional dispensary licenses. So we'll go ahead and show you the map of all of those because we like to be as transparent as we can be. Again, we are not supported by the Ohio Medical Marijuana Program. We are not funded by them. We are not anything with them besides being patients. I am a licensed patient here in Ohio. I deal with chronic pain and arthritis, PTSD, trauma. I don't know about CTE, potentially, right? Being a former football player, 15 plus years, Division I safety, ex-NFL free agent. had tons of hits on my head. So, thing about CTE is you don't know you have CTE until you die. And that's when they can basically do the studies and research on your brain to see if you have CTE. So it's interesting that CTE is a qualifying condition for medical cannabis in Ohio, when it's like, well, you don't even know if you have CTE unless you die. Like, it's pretty morbid, I get it. But I'm a savage, I'm a former football player, so it's the reality. We're all gonna die at some point. Some die earlier than others. So trying to live my best life, So here is the map of the Ohio Medical Cannabis Dispensaries. I'll show you people on Instagram Live. So you see, it's interesting that a lot of them are bordering, Michigan, right? They definitely, tried to combat people from going to Michigan to get their meds. But then there's just this huge gap in the middle of Ohio, like these huge gaps around here. Then we'll go to Columbus, since it is the capital. So you got a bunch in Columbus, and then if you see the surrounding areas of Columbus, right, these are all of the suburbs, right? Dublin, Hilliard, Westerville, New Albany, Gahanna, Grove City. No cannabis dispensaries in the suburbs because there's a moratorium against cannabis in all of the Columbus suburbs. And then you can just see, like, there's lots of hidden space. Like, you gotta think, like, there needs to be way more, right? Because we gotta understand, like, there's a CVS on every block, there's Walmarts, there's Walgreens. Like, you can get your pills from pretty much anywhere. Here's Dayton area. Dayton has 4. You got Springfield, Yellow Springs area. You got Cincinnati. Shout out to the Natty. Cincinnati got a few in there, sprinkled in there, about 3. So I know there's still people that I've talked to that said they drive 3 hours, to get to a cannabis dispensary. You got Chillicothe, Jackson, the Plains, Athens. Shout out to Athens, my Ohio Bobcats. I am a Bobcat, Marietta. And so, what's the odds of cannabis going legal in Ohio? Well, we have the medical program. In terms of recreational adult use, it's been put on the ballot for 2023. So that's legally, politically wise, that's what they're saying. So I don't think we have a shot at adult use until 2023, 2024. And so it is what it is. But obviously, anybody that's aware understands that, the legacy market is still booming. It's just the reality. Because, when you just look at the numbers, when you think about it, Ohio has over 11 million people in the state. We only have 546,750 recommendations. Only 293,579 registered patients. And then you only have 154,614 patients with both an active registration and an active recommendation. And then you only have 271,561 unique patients who purchased medical marijuana as reported by the licensed dispensaries. So at 11 million people, like, how many people really consuming cannabis, right? Like, it's in the millions, for sure. Like, out of 11 million people. So where are the rest of those people getting their medicine from, right? It's coming from the legacy market. They're going up to Michigan, going all over the place, Like, there was a story coming out of Upper Arlington that a dad, some child had got access to a dad's edibles and took it to school and gave it to some of his friends. And the product wasn't even from Ohio's program. It was from Colorado from like 3 years ago or something crazy like that. So there's still like a reality that a lot of people don't even know that we have a medical program because there's not a lot of information. There's not a lot of, marketing and advertisement. You only hear like one commercial on the radio for getting a medical card. Most people, when you think about black people in particular, like I know us in healthcare, like we don't trust the healthcare system. We don't really go to doctor's visits like that. So the chances of us having access to a doctor, having access to x-rays and scans to be able to take that to a doctor that can recommend cannabis for us is very slim. A lot of the doctors in the program aren't really marketing themselves well, which is like, if you need help marketing, please reach out to the people who can do it. We definitely, if you want to sponsor us in this program, and give discounts for that. Also, like, who's going to pay? You still got some doctors charging $200 just to get a medical card. So why would I pay? I paid, but somebody else, if somebody's struggling to put food on the table, to put clothes on their children's back, $200 just to get a card, and that's not even qualifying you to go into the dispensary to actually get the cannabis. I'm gonna take that $200 and go cop a sack. You know what I mean? Instead of taking that $200 to get a recommendation. You know what I mean? Like, so it really eliminates a lot of people from the program, and it pushes a lot of people away. That price point. I know there's some cheaper price points, but again, a lot of the information isn't being disseminated to certain communities. So the program is really pimping like people who could afford the medical product, which is typically your upper echelon, your middle class people, some of your working class people. So people that are on disability and stuff like that, I know are part of the program. Alright, so let's get back to the numbers here. So we have physicians as of August 11th, 2022. There are 642 certified certificates to recommend for physicians. And so, again, all of this information is online. You just got to go to the Ohio Medical Marijuana Program website and go to either the news or the FAQ link, and you can print all this stuff out. I think people need to be more, like us as a community, like people in Ohio need to be more communal and be willing to share information and help each other out. I know people do it in their silos, in their little communities, but we need to branch out. You have 46 provisional licenses for processors. 42 provisional licensees have received certificate of operations. So for those, obviously you have some companies that are vertically integrated. So they have cultivator, processor, dispensaries. So we have Grow Ohio LLC, you have Standard Wellness Company, you have FN Group Holdings, Buckeye Relief, Green Investment Partners, One Origin, Standard Farms, Ohio, OPC Processing, Corso Verde, Columbia Care, Benaleaves Limited, shout out to Benaleaves, and Broderick over there, and everybody else, Tiffany, sorry if I didn't mention you, ATCPC of Ohio, Mothers Grows Best, Purpose Leaf LLC, AYR Wellness, Solomon Cultivation Corporation, Appalachian Farm Processing, Greenleaf Therapeutics, Main Street Health LLC, GTI Ohio LLC, Pure Ohio LLC, Ohio Grown Therapies, Cureleaf. You have Certified Cultivators LLC, you have Pure Ohio Wellness LLC, Diamond Science LLC, Ancient Roots LLC, Innovation Healing Solutions, PharmaCann Ohio, Nora Labs, shout out to Nora Labs, black female owned cannabis processor out in Dayton. They just came online. Real Growth Investments, Cresco Labs Ohio, North Coast Therapeutics, NMG Ohio, P1 LLC, Body and Mind, Franklin Bioscience Ohio, Juicy, MC2P, LLC, Pharmaceutical Rx, Canna Ascend Ohio Processing, Riviera Creek Holdings, Quest Wellness Ohio, Maricoron Pharma, Fire Rock Processing, Harvest Processing, Ohio Green Systems, Strive Wellness of Ohio LLC, Canamed Therapeutics, CeeLo Processing LLC, Ohio Processing Plant LLC. So those are all of the processor licenses for the program. And then we got testing labs. There's 10 provisional licenses out for testing. Only 6 provisional licensees have received certificate of operations. So we have North Coast Testing Laboratories, ACT Laboratories, One Bond, CP Labs, CAS Labs, Midway Labs, Battelle, Central State University, CV Labs, Pinnacle Testing, and Specialty Lab. So those are all the testers. So also, if you're looking for jobs in the industry, it's a great opportunity to find a job in the industry. What's up, Aaron? Shout out to Prim Garden CBD in the Short North. 2 young ladies are doing great work. And then we got sales figures. I always love the sales figures because it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Capitalism. Everybody working hard, trying to make it to the middle class, the upper middle class, trying to build wealth. You're not going to make it. I'm just telling y'all, you're not going to make it. I'm around wealthy people all the time, and I'll tell you this. They do everything private, right? Their money moves private. Their estates, their trust moves private. So you working for them, chances are you're not going to make it to the CEO spot, the CFO spot, the COO spot, the director of whatever spot. It just is what it is. It's a small group of people. You're not at the country club. You're not, in their spaces. And wealth hangs with wealth. I went to elite private schools. I understand how it moves. I was an athlete. I understand how privilege works. So socialism, I'm all for, supporting the culture. I come from poverty myself. I come from working class America myself. I come from, the trenches, for real. So, I'm really not a fan of a few families being multi-billionaires and owning everything and then just swallowing up everything. I'm not really a fan for these programs and the MSOs that are, just consuming up everything, paying, bud tenders, barely good wages to survive. But, I can't speak up for everybody, I'm not your leader. I'm just somebody doing what I do. All right, sales figures as of August 2022, August 22nd, 2022. So, grand total of 112,950 pounds of plant material. Selling them pounds. You have 10,384,670 units of manufactured product. You have $963 million in product sales. Almost $1 billion in 3 years with only, 58 dispensaries. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. Billion. So you might as well round it up, right? 963 million. You might as well round that up to $1 billion. Product sales. You have 7,287,128 total receipts. You have plant sales averaging $24.59 per tenth. You have plant sales average $8.69 per gram. Manufactured sales averaging $37.47 per unit. So that's pretty much the bulk of the numbers. They have this spreadsheet right here that shows you all of the capsules sold, edibles sold, topical lotion sold, vape oil sold, oil sold, topical ointment sold, tinctures sold, patches sold, sublingual for oil administration sold, plant material sold in pounds, total plant material in pounds, capsule sales, edible sales. So, really they show you all the numbers, and I'll show you guys that are on here for the live. So this is the spreadsheet of all the things that have been sold. And so really you can tell plant material really is the #1 seller. You know, everybody loves that plant. Love the plants. And then they do it, you know, week by week. So it's a lot of good information, you know, like for anybody that wants to go check that out. Like I said, it's the Ohio. Marijuana.ohio.gov is the website. So this, like I said, we are not sponsored. I'm doing this, you know, like pro bono. So if y'all want to show some love, hit me up in the Cash App, G13 Ventures. I take donations. If you want to donate to my nonprofit, Green Environmental Outreach, you can donate to there too, because this is part of our outreach. This is part of our educating the people, because a lot of the program not doing it. I tell y'all that. Ain't nobody who y'all see doing this. Going off reading all the numbers. Just saying. The state ain't pushing it. I'm just saying. Alright, so the program started, right? Like our program, like the official numbers, the first numbers came April 30th, 2019. So from April 30th, 2019 to May 6th, there was 673 pounds of plant material sold, $5.2 million in product sales, 2,544 units of manufactured products, 36,796 total receipts. That was the first time they ever put up the data for the program. Right there. And so for everybody following me on that was watching this on YouTube, I'm live right now too, so that's why I'm going back and forth, because we do have a little bit of a live audience right now. We are pre-recording this, so this is also on Zoom, so we're pre-recording this on Zoom, and then I'll upload it. So anybody wondering why I'm going back and forth, we ain't got no, like, you know, multi-million-dollar production going on over here. We grassroots. I like doing things grassroots. Anybody that knows me personally, which most of you don't, my wife's a news anchor, so, you know, she's a producer, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, they ain't really ready for that cannabis life yet. So if anybody want to invest in this, you know, we got the production, we got the media company, we could do some business. But, you know, we got to do it right. We for the culture though. So these are the historical data. This is the historical data for the program. You know, they got 31 pages of stats. So yeah, if anybody wants to read through that, go ahead, knock yourself out. And you can just see, you know, the program's rocking, you know, for sure. You know, I believe everybody's a medical patient. We talk about it all the time, me and Broderick. But again, some people just don't have access, right? Not everybody has access to a car to be able to travel to a dispensary. Not everybody has the funds. Obviously, inflation, gas prices, all these different barriers. Not everybody is mobile, right? Like when you're talking about medical, you're talking about people who have, debilitating ailments and illnesses. Not everybody has a caregiver. So there's just so many hoops and hurdles that people have to jump through, jump over, climb under, go through, that prevent a lot of people from receiving their medicine. Obviously, Ohio is a heavily regulated market. Obviously, Ohio's products aren't the greatest. Let us know in the comments. Let us know what's your favorite products, what's your favorite dispensary, what's your favorite cultivator, what's your favorite processor. What do you like? Do you like tinctures? Do you like patches? You like the edibles? You like the flower? Let us know. Do you like the isolates? What do you like? You like vape pens? We'd love to know. Over here we are flower lovers. We love flower. Just because it's just the most beautiful part of the plant. I just like them. I'm actually about to make a trip to somewhere to pick up some flower after I finish recording this. So I might bring you guys along for a trip. What dispensaries are open today around the city? I think I saw that Bloom was open. So yeah, that's the Ohio Cannabis Report in terms of the numbers that we really wanted to share with you all today. Let's see. I'm gonna go and see if there's any news articles popping up. Strawberry farms and harvest. Okay, bet. What deals? What deals do they have? You know what deals they got going on today? So let's go to the news. Cannabis in Ohio. Oh yeah. Did y'all see that Afro Man? I didn't know Afro Man was an Ohio resident, which is very like interesting. It's like the most random. Like we have like the most random. You got Chappelle, you got Afro Man, like the most random like people be. Ohio residents. So Afro Man's Ohio residents raided by local law enforcement. This is on High Times 3 days ago. So if y'all don't remember Afro Man, we'll give y'all a little reminder. Obviously a legend from one song. Oh man. Let's see. A couple songs actually, but 30% off everything. Strawberry Fail Harvest has some at 30% off. Dude. Oh, I might have to go to. Let's see. Oh, why we ain't working though? Why we ain't working though? Let's see. Sorry for the pause. I was trying to put y'all on to some Afro Man real quick. I just go to YouTube. Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I was gonna go to class and then I got high. Ooh. That song got 238 million views. 235 million views on YouTube. Was uploaded October 8th. Coming up on the anniversary for that joint.
Why doesn't every home in the U.S. have solar panels? The number one reason is not about sunlight or weather or...
I'm putting that good juju out there. I was ordering at the speaker box. Did you see the video footage? I did see the video footage. They rated that man like he was, you know, drug kingpin. It's wild. Well, that's how they treat us, you know what I mean? Like, again, just super random, you know what I mean? But obviously that joint was, you know. Local police forcibly entered Afro Man's home in Ohio with assault rifles, but only found a vape pen, a few roaches, and a jar of CBD. Think about how much tax money they wasted to raid this man's house to find a vape pen. He wasn't even there. They found a vape pen, a few roaches, and a jar of CBD. Afro Man recently shared his home, that his home was in Ohio was raided on August 21st by the Adams County Sheriff's Office. Although he was in Chicago at the time of the raid, his neighbors told him about what was going on. Shout out to his neighbors. His neighbors some real ones, right? He also shared multiple security footage videos on Instagram showing law enforcement searching various areas of the house. This is supposed to be a drug and narcotic warrant. I had to pay technical people top dollar to install my camera system. There's no drugs or guns in my computer screen. These are burglars, hoodlums breaking into the houses of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens, destroying property, he wrote on August 29th. I had to pay the camera people thousands of dollars to install my camera system. I don't need them kicking down my door, spreading monkeypox in my clothes and ripping up my camera system, so nobody will see these thieves disguised. Bruh. So they just ended my live on Instagram because I was playing that song, I guess. Sorry guys, they ended the live because I was playing Because I Got High. Let me go ahead and tap back in. They logged me off, Billy, because I was playing music. But, yeah, so monkeypox in my clothes and ripping up my camera system so nobody will see these thieves disguised as law enforcement officers stealing my money, just like the cops in St. Charles, Missouri. Afro Man's social media post took off in popularity. As of August 30th, Afro Man said he thanked the police officer Pound Cake for helping him gain 13,000 followers on TikTok. As of September 2nd, the TikTok post has 4.7 million views. According to TMZ, live interview with Afro Man, law enforcement didn't find what they were looking for. They took like some roaches and vape pen and a jar of CBD. I think they thought I had like pounds and thousands of pounds or something like that. He said they didn't have to run up my driveway with AR-15s and all kinds of assault weapons. I would have gladly just given that to them. Afro Man also mentioned he has footage of cops pulling cash out of the pockets of his clothes. They said that they want me to come down and make a statement. I need a lawyer. I don't know why they came here like this, he said. TMZ also asked Afro Man about the previous burglary that had occurred in his past as well. He said it took 3 days for the police to visit his home and write a report on the incident. He continued to follow up with the local police station about the report. I was following up with the progress of the case, and I guess the consistency of my calls was irritating to them. They told me if you keep calling up, it will get addressed. I got funny vibe, so I fell back, interviewers asked him to elaborate on the funny vibe and inquired if the statement felt like a threat. A cop speaks politically correct, Afro Man started, but said that he felt like the police station told him to stop calling. On September 1st, a local news channel covering the incident claimed that the search warrant listed possession of drugs, drug trafficking, and kidnapping. No kidnapping victims, no pounds of marijuana, especially in my suit pockets, or narcotics. No charges, no warrant for my arrest, Afro Man wrote. Just a few roaches in my ashtray, them on camera destroying my property, stealing my money like the cops in St. Charles, Missouri, and disconnecting my cameras so no one sees them stealing my money. Ohio legalized medical marijuana in 2016, but recreational cannabis is not allowed. Although there was a legalization ballot initiative in the works, it has been postponed until the 2023 election. Embarrassing, Ohio. You are so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. So embarrassing. And the people that are quiet, you are just as embarrassing. This goes to you. So if you're just sitting back like, oh, it'll eventually go, I got my weed, I got my card. Like, no, it's not enough. Free the weed, man. Like, cannabis should be legal, period. Like, Ohio's still making money from raiding, locking people up for weed. And it's ridiculous. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. And it's an embarrassment, especially when the rest of the country, is, doing what it's doing. So we got record high, more adults smoke marijuana today than cigarettes. Also a problem, right, in our community and society is we have journalists still using the word marijuana. Marijuana is not a real term. You highly educated folks, this message is to you. You college graduates, you master's degrees, you doctors, you politicians. Marijuana is not a real word. They use that word to discriminate against a certain group of people. Who? Mexicans, right? Mexicans don't use the word marijuana. It's not a real word. The scientific term, since you are a journalist, since you are somebody that is supposed to be educating the people, spreading the news, you should be using cannabis. Which is why we are the Ohio Cannabis Report. We're not the Ohio Marijuana Report. We are not the Ohio Ganja Report. We are the Ohio Cannabis Report. And obviously, like, we don't just care about Ohio. Like, we did Ohio because we're here, but, you know, we pay attention to what's going on everywhere. So we understand what's going on in Michigan. We understand what's going on in Illinois. We understand what's going on in California. We understand what's going on in Florida, Maryland, New Jersey, New York. New York is allowing people with cannabis convictions to be some of the first people to get their license for their social equity program. Ohio doesn't even have a social equity program. You know, so, you know, Ohio's just slow. Way more than slow, but slow. Alright, so we got record high, and we're just doing the news break. So I'm going to need Jeremy Noble, who wrote this for Kane's Cleveland Business. You know, more adults smoke cannabis today than cigarettes. So I'm going to just share this to my social media again. Again, if you're watching this, if you got this far, please like, follow, and subscribe for more content. Please support us if you want to support us via Cash App. We would love that support. G13 Ventures, $ G13 Ventures. We have a Patreon, but we're still working on it. Sorry I had to step away. Now I have to log off. Thanks for doing these lives. Oh, I appreciate you. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the support. Always. So I have to subscribe for this one. I don't think I'll be doing that. And that's, again, like, when you look at our news outlets now, right? Like most people don't have access to the news because newspapers are charging people to get access to the news because they're not making money. So you're better off just supporting us. Independent journalist. Now, I didn't go to school for journalism, but journalism is really just doing your own, like, investigation. Like, you know, again, like, my wife's a news anchor. Like, I understand how this goes. She takes her job and her career very seriously. But our news isn't doing, you know, again, people that typically are on the news come from privilege, right? Because to be on the news, you got to have a college degree from a journalism school, a journalism program. Pretty much got to have good grades, got to have a look. If you're in the news, got to be a good writer. You know, they don't like opinion people. Obviously, this ain't Fox News. Fox News, you could just be anybody and just talk crazy. But still, like, a lot of our, you know, news programs or media, you know, old media, legacy media is just outdated, super outdated. You know, and we have access to, like, now anybody can be a journalist, right? You look at what TikTok is, you look at what Instagram is, Facebook Live. Like, I don't have to go into a news station to go live and connect with people and build relationships and disseminate information. Plus, we like to do some positivity, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really like the news because it's always negative as fuck, especially towards black men. We always see black man robbing the store, black man getting shot. These politicians and big business people is just as way more corrupt. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand, like, how corrupt white collar folks are. You know what I mean? They'll take a product that costs $1 to make, 50 cents to make, and charge you $100. And then tax you on it. Like, it's just, like, the capitalistic system is so messed up. The education system. They're charging people hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a college degree. Education is free. Go to the library. Go read a book. It's free. But we're charging you this money because you have a professor, we have access to the books. It's all, and they've been scamming people like that for a long time. So, you know, if people just keep going along to get along, they're going to keep getting scammed. But, you know, that's why it's hard for me to be in, like, sales. What's up, Cleveland School of Cannabis? It's hard for me to be in sales because, again, I understand, like, there's a certain level, I guess, people deserve to be paid for what they're doing. But it comes a certain point where it costs less than 7 cents to make a large poison water at McDonald's, right? Exactly. I mean, just think about how much Pepsi is sold, how much Coca-Cola is sold, and It's just sugar water. Like, it's poisoned sugar water. And, I think about how much alcohol costs. Alcohol is water, yeast, whatever, like they make, like, and that joint gonna fuck you up. Like the pills, these opioid pills that they're using machines to make in different concoctions. You take one too many Advil. I guess I Advil right. You take one too many of these, you gonna die. Now I could take as much of this CBD product as possible. Shout out to Dr. Bridget Green Harvest CBD. These are the vitality pills. I could take as much of these, 1,800 milligrams. I could take this 500 milligrams, and I'm not gonna die. I could take as much THC, weed. I'm not gonna die. You know what I mean? But you take one too many of these, out of there. It's crazy. And you got people that got pill boxes full of pills, looking at people that use cannabis like, scoffing. Like, people looking at people like, you're better than me because I'm on pills and you're smoking that marijuana. Get the fuck out of here, man. Sorry for my language. I get a little bit hyped. So we got the golden age of marijuana use. So this is another news article out of the Cleveland scene. It's a golden age for marijuana users in their golden years. Cannabis. We have to educate people. Cannabis, 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 cannabis. Hey, cannabis, cannabis, cannabis. Hey, you have an endocannabinoid system. You don't have an endo-marijuana system. An endocannabinoid system. Okay? Okay. So, we'll check out this article. So, it is the golden age of, for cannabis users in their golden years. So many senior citizens are settling into the THC-infused retirement. I need more weed. And all you old Karens out there, use your privilege. Speak up. I know y'all out there smoking in private. Y'all got bread too. Y'all got that retirement money. So cannabis activist Arlene Williams, 84, who grew up in Detroit, has traveled the world advocating for drug reform. We gotta find Arlene. I see you, Arlene. When it comes to so then they use cannabis. When it comes to cannabis, the progression to acceptance has been a long one. Baby boomers, children of silent generation, were warned of the effects of marijuana use, and then they go to marijuana use. It's for histrionic, I don't know how to pronounce that word, movies like 1936, the 1936's Reefer Madness, and the 1949's Wild Weed. These films focused on addiction and mental health crises if you dared smoke the green stuff. But now that cannabis use is legal and normalized throughout much of the country, many adults are now settling into a THC-infused retirement. Mechanic Ricardo Simmons, 67, had his first experience with weed on the basketball court in Detroit. An older teenager fired up a joint attempting to pass it along to Simmons, who didn't know what it was at first. I looked at it, and the guy asked me, "Oh, you scared?" Simmons says. Once he realized it wasn't a cigarette, he declined the offer and said, "This is straight up dope." Cannabis has long been labeled as a gateway drug. But a couple of years later, Simmons would smoke occasionally with his friends after discovering it wasn't that bad after all. It wasn't heroin, he says. After research pointed to its health benefits, to the health benefits of cannabis, and voters in the state like Ohio began legalizing it for medical use, stigma of the plant dissipated. Rebecca Page, owner of CB Squared Smoke and Vape Shop on Detroit's West Side, is a medical marijuana grower for her senior clients. A cancer survivor with a background in nursing, Paige believes cannabis helped improve her symptoms. This is the reason I chose to pursue the industry, she says. Over the past 3 years, Paige, 44, noticed an increase in retirement age cannabis users. She cultivates 72 plants for five of her patients, who she says like the lift THC gives them, which helps their chronic pain and sleep issues. A 2022 study in JMA Internal Medicine found that cannabis use in the past year by U.S. adults 65 years and older increased sharply from 0.4% in 2006 to 2007 to 2.9% in 2015 and 2016. According to the 2018 study published in a peer-reviewed Gerontology and Geriatric Medicine, most U.S. adults aged 50 or over who had used cannabis in the past year, 75% say they felt there was a slight risk or no risk of toking once or twice a week. Marijuana use seems normalized among older populations as more of those whoever used marijuana age as laws legalizing marijuana spread across the United States. The authors wrote, while noting that more research is necessary into the impact of cannabis use on the health of aging adults. Scientific studies on the health effects of cannabis are limited due to its federal Schedule 1 drug classification. A 74-year-old retired business owner who called himself an advocate of the cannabis product Rick Simpson Oil, RSO, which some claim has the potential to help treat cancer, says he used to hear pot referred to as the devil's weed. Now that the plant is legal, he says people are more free to admit they use marijuana. He adds, you get old enough and you say, oh, all of that was bumpkin. Joe Top Dog Price, a 71-year-old client of CB Squared, says he was told marijuana will make you lazy and mess with your mind when he was younger. While Price doesn't think teenagers should smoke weed, he says he doesn't care about how people react to him smoking weed. I'm 71, he says. In the 60s, Simmons grew up with hippies hanging out in Easton Town Theater, where acts like Pink Floyd and Fleetwood Mac performed. Simmons recalls sitting on the floor watching rock concerts with his friends. All these same people who were the hippies then developed into what we call the yuppies 20 years ago, Simmons says. Now for them, marijuana is okay, and there's so much money involved in it now. You're growing up, you're growing it, you're selling it, whatever else. As cannabis becomes legal in more states, more people are being open about their use, including senior citizens, social media influencers like Dabby Granny, who shares her green adventures with 1.2 million Instagram followers, helping new users find their way. Cannabis activist Arlene Williams, 84, has traveled the world advocating for the drug reform while also seeking out the best remedies in cannabis wellness. Growing up in Detroit, Williams says her parents whispered among themselves about wacky cigarettes and the scandal of actor Robert Mitchum being arrested for cannabis possession. Williams knew there was a stigma around using marijuana, but once she was out of her parents' home, married at the age of 17, she suggested to her husband she wanted to try some. He thought I was absolutely insane, says Williams, who is now based in New York, but adds that she went along with it. That is how I started smoking, but it was never a big part of our lives, she says. It was something we did on New Year's and on birthdays. Williams says many elders feel free to inhale, digest, and consume cannabis openly without shame in their golden years. I don't want to be trivialize a war that's going on in Ukraine or anywhere, but rather than drop bombs, let's just drop a load of reefer and just chill out, she says. She adds, I don't know what it will do for you. I know what it did for me, and it helped me. Toke on aging ones. So, right? Dab and Granny. What a clever name. I'm about to follow her. The Dabbing Granny. That was a solid article. You know, all these elders out here token. So we got Brook Park adopts 2 medical marijuana ordinances. So September 2nd, 2022, Brook Park, Ohio City Council adopts 2 medical marijuana ordinances at its August 23rd meeting, one addressing the establishment of dispensaries and the other regarding business operations for those dispensaries. The first ordinance established reasonable and uniform regulation to prevent the deleterious location and concentration of medical marijuana dispensaries within the city. None may be situated within a half a mile of another dispensary, and no dispensary will be permitted within 1,000 feet of a school, recreation center, church, public library, public playground, or public park. Only one dispensary may be located within the building, in a building or structure. In addition, a non-transferable 12-month conditional use permit must be secured from the city's planning commission. Licensees must be in compliance with all state and local laws. Brook Park's safety director will determine permit renewals. Councilwoman Nora Sioni has been trying to set up a presentation with the medical marijuana experts to have them address the public and council, but scheduling issues have delayed that hearing. As for the medical marijuana operations, the second newly enacted ordinance limits how dispensaries conduct business and establishes reasonable and uniform regulations to minimize and control the negative secondary effects of medical marijuana dispensaries within the city. Medical marijuana cultivators and processors, as well as marijuana vending machines, are prohibited. All dispensaries must be properly licensed. Permitted hours of operation for the dispensaries are 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. According to the legislation, Brook Park dispensaries currently may operate only in the U7A zoning district, which is located along Brook Park Road near Henry Ford Boulevard. Because no dispensary licenses currently are available in the state, Councilman Tom Troyer said there will be plenty of time to consider other potential locations. Councilwoman Sioni will be bringing people in, and we're going to talk to them about what areas they'd like to these in. Troyer says, so maybe we come back and amend the ordinance and what the people want. The current U7A zoning district comprises a very limited, narrow area. My opinion is that the council should look at enlarging the zoning of a particular ordinance into some of the areas before it's passed. Law Director Carol Harvath advised council prior to the vote. I feel there is a possibility we might incur some liability for having such a narrow area in which to allow this type of business. Both pieces of legislation passed by a 5-2 vote, with Councilman Rich Schott and Rick Salvatore voting no. Then we got Cincinnati cannabis startup plants roots in Michigan, plots fast growth through early 2023. So you got Lucas Gold, the founder and CEO of Spender. Spender, the Cincinnati startup that wants to bring Starbucks app experience to the cannabis space, has expanded into a new state after making early inroads in Ohio. The addition could be the first of many as the company gains traction with new users in dispensaries, its founder and CEO said. Downtown-based Spender and fintech launched by JP Morgan Chase alum Lucas Gold in late 2021, signed its first dispensary customer in Adrian, Michigan. The move represents a significant growth opportunity for the company and comes just 5 months after it launched its beta product early this year. Gold said Michigan's proximity plus its market size and total number of dispensaries, roughly 500 compared to Ohio's 58. Michigan has 500 dispensaries compared to Ohio's 58. Wow. Made it an ideal opportunity. There's a much shorter sales cycle given the number of mom and pops and independent shops in the state, he said. Sales of legal cannabis in Michigan also nearing $1.8 billion in 2021 versus $381 million in Ohio last year. They are very different markets, but we've learned our business is very scalable right now, Gold told me. It happened quicker than we had planned, but at the same time, I felt as though our team was ready to move on to the next state. Gold, the son of Greenlight Acquisitions founder and CEO Jimmy Gold, who was a major player in Ohio's marijuana legalization campaign in 2015, launched Spender last year. The app is the first to blend both payments and rewards in the cannabis space. The platform works much in the same way as Starbucks, Venmo, or PayPal. Consumers load money onto the Spender digital wallet, then use said wallet to buy products from dispensary partners. Spender offers cashback reward on those purchases, anywhere from 3% to 10% during the initial rollout. Customers receive a bonus for signing up, making their transaction, and hitting certain milestones along the way. The app offers other intangible benefits, Lucas Gold said, which improves its overall stickiness with customers. Users can store their medical marijuana card and driver's license photo on the app. They can also rate their favorite products in a personal library. For dispensaries, Spender will offer back-end dashboard with marketing and promotional tools. That's going to be the focus, perfecting our suite of marketing tools. One thing we found across every dispensary, regardless of Ohio or Michigan, was it's extremely hard for them to not only run their business, but to grow their business, he said. They're caught up in regulatory red tape. Since its beta launch, Spender has added thousands of users, and the company is working with 10 merchants, both active and enrolled, including the Jimmy Gold-owned Strawberry Fields dispensary in Columbus. That's without any major marketing push, Lucas Gold said. The company has hired its first full-time salesperson, pushing the employee count, including contractors, to 15. The goal is to hit 100-plus dispensaries by the first quarter of next year. There appears to be plenty of pent-up demand. People are spending about 30% more per transaction with using the app. In a recent study, 60% of its users said that they would switch dispensers if they didn't offer Spender. Store employees like it as well. He added, there is less cash to count, and they can get customers in and out much faster pace. We've been surprised by the overwhelming response from the dispensary employees, he said. They've become our best salespeople. They're very authentically telling the consumers, here's why I use Spender. It's a win-win-win-win across the board. To date, Spender has raised $1.5 million with $15 million valuation. It's likely the company could raise new funds in a Series A round before the end of the year, he said. That would allow the company to expand to more states. Earlier this year, Jimmy mentioned Illinois as potential next target. Then the plan is to expand all across the country, he said. So far, it's been a pretty lean operation. The company's biggest expenditures are incentives or getting people on the platform and product development. Lucas Gold said Spender is gaining traction with cannabis-adjacent businesses like CBD shops. Spender could also offer lower fees to retail businesses like barbershops or coffee shops that use the platform. The company is also pursuing strategic partnerships with distributors and or cannabis e-commerce companies. Those deals would help Spender hit its customers' targets even faster. We have a great opportunity, Gold said. We've proven early product market fit. There's a demand on both sides. We want to make this whole process convenient, easy, safe, and rewarding. The one thing holding us back now is execution. So shout out to Spender. Shout out to Lucas, doing big things over at Spender. We'll try to get him on definitely on live one of these days. Met him a couple times. Good guy. Met some of the people working in his operation, so it's good to see them doing well. Key investment partners back, fully vertical Ohio-based cannabis operator. All right, I'll do one more story for the YouTube channel. Key investment partners, investment in Pharmaceutical Rx demonstrates confidence in the company's organic living soil cultivation. Denver, August 23rd, 2022, Global Newswire. Key investment partners today announced a $1.5 million investment in Pharmaceutical Rx, a vertically integrated cannabis operator in the state of Ohio. The investment by Key is a strong show of confidence for the company's approach to cannabis cultivation, processing, and product development. Pharmaceutical Rx, FRX, is the leading organic multi-state vertically integrated medical marijuana operator in the U.S. market. Pharmaceutical Rx is focused on bringing research and development-based innovation to the medical marijuana sector. Pharmaceutical Rx develops premium, craft, and innovative organic products under its existing Pharmaceutical Rx brand. Pharmaceutical Rx suite of sub-branded products in Ohio includes Burst of Wellness vape products, Tree Farm vape and RSO products, local edible chocolates and confections, Canna Rock sugar-free hard candy, and Open Mind organic vegan and gluten-free gummies. The company's suite of sub-branded products in Ohio combines with premium organic and craft quality that Pharmaceutical Rx is known for at the competitive price point, expanding their reach to a broader demographic of patients. Pharmaceutical Rx is led by a world-class team of scientists, healthcare, organic food and beverage, and cannabis industry professionals who are driven by the discovery, development, and manufacturing of premium organic craft products through their vertically integrated platform with the Pharmaceutical Rx of Ohio business. In addition to Key's capital investment, Key founding partner Pete Carabas will join the FRX board of directors alongside FRX founder and CEO Rebecca Myers to assist the company with its strategic growth initiatives in 2022 and beyond. We've been very impressed with Rebecca and her team's ability to consistently deliver high-quality organic cannabis products at a competitive price to medical cannabis patients across the state of Ohio. In the relatively near future, we expect the state to develop a robust recreational program and believe our FRX will play a key role in making the program a success, Carabas said. Using the organic cultivation method referred to as living soil cultivation, Pharmaceutical Rx grows cannabis following traditional organic practices that closely mimic Mother Nature's optimal nature conditions to produce premium organic craft medical marijuana products with every harvest. Plants are cultivated in living soil, and environmental conditions are obviously monitored and controlled. These high standards enable the company to reliably replicate the unique genetic profile of each cultivar to exacting standards, creating consistently high cannabinoid and terpene levels with each harvest. The Pharmaceutical Rx process team then formulates products with a goal of allowing patients to achieve condition-specific relief, whether that be through live resin vape, concentrate products, solventless products, RSOs, or edible products. Pharmaceutical Rx anticipates receiving final organic certification in Q4 of 2022. We are extremely gratified by the confidence Key Investment Partners has demonstrated through the commitment to our future, said Rebecca Myers, founder and CEO of Pharmaceutical Rx. The addition of Pete Carabas to our board will be instrumental as we continue to grow our presence across the state of Ohio. Key Investment Partners has continued to deploy capital into the cannabis industry throughout several different verticals in 2022. Their investment in FRX is a reflection of Key's confidence in the continued growth of the cannabis industry, even in the midst of challenging macroeconomic times. So about Pharmaceutical Rx, in addition to leading producers of premium organic craft medical marijuana products and the sole multi-state vertical integrated producers of premium organic craft medical marijuana products in the U.S. market, Pharmaceutical Rx is focused on bringing research and development-based innovation to the medical marijuana sector. Pharmaceutical Rx developed, I already read all that. So, obviously it's a multi-state operator. What's up, Menelec? And so, feel how you feel about MSOs. We are just, don't shoot the messenger is all I'm saying. So, again, this is just, the news sector of the Ohio Cannabis Report. We just typed in Cannabis Ohio, went to the news, and those are just some of the latest articles. Let's see if there are any other interesting articles hitting the wire. Congressman showcases marijuana gummies from California dispensary to promote bipartisan dank cannabis research bill. That was marijuana moment. I don't see any more stories out of Ohio. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast at an hour 24 minutes. Again, I want to thank everybody that has watched our YouTube channel, the Ohio Cannabis Report. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Or you can give us thumbs down. If you don't like the content, boom, give us a thumb down. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Please comment where you're from. If you're watching this from another state, please let us know what your state's doing. Are you medical? Are you recreational? Do you have a program? What's the legacy market looking like? Also, if anybody is in politics, let's free our brothers and sisters that have been locked up. You know, obviously we talk about the Brittany Griner situation, being locked up in Russia, but again, we can't really vouch for her when we still got thousands upon thousands of folks locked up in America right as I speak for minor cannabis offenses, minor non-violent cannabis offenses. So we really need to free the people here first. Those people need to be getting opportunities, dibs in the careers, in the business, to own their own dispensaries, cultivators, processors, and we need to be funding them. We need to be educating them. We need to be housing them. We need to be supporting them, you know, in all aspects. And so, again, this is my push. This is my plea. You know, I'm free. I get to use my cannabis. I get to talk about it freely. But I know that I am doing this on the backs of people from my community in particular that have, you know, had the book thrown at them. So, you know, shout out to, the Prisoner Project, you know, for doing the work that they do. Shout out to all the advocates out there. Shout out to all the advocacy going on, all the different projects, corporations. This message is also to you, CEOs and executives of these cannabis companies. You all need to be using your voices because we know that you guys party and hang out with the politicians. So, you know, y'all should be doing your job to free people from, you know, the war on drugs, because we know the war on drugs was a failure. Epic failure. So, again, thank you guys for supporting. We're going to have the Patreon up here soon. If you want to support our movement, again, you can hit us through Cash App, $G13 Ventures. If you want to donate to a nonprofit that is focused on outreach, education, health and well-being, specifically in underserved communities, food deserts throughout Ohio, spreading, you know, awareness and activism. At GEO Nonprofit is our Instagram. You can go to our website, www.geononprofit.org. It stands for Green Environmental Outreach. So we do all things green, and cannabis is green. You know, so please help us support the mission. Help us to continue to be able to do and serve the community how we're doing it. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, peace. Alrighty. So that's the end of that. And then we'll hop on the live, see if anybody want to come chop it up on the live. Y'all free to chop it up. What y'all doing? What y'all doing on this Labor Day? What y'all doing?